If you know this channel, you'll know I've been playing around with the Echon6 for the past couple of weeks, and it does sound fabulous. It's got a lovely organic feel, and I've really enjoyed getting some lovely tones from it. And if you want to hear more, I've finished a couple of the demos I started on my review, which I've put at the end of this video for your listening pleasure. Trying to keep it about the music, which is why we're all doing this after all. And the whole point of this channel is to try and give you the experience of playing the synth for yourself. So I try and demo things that I think you would like to do, things that I'm interested in, things I think you'd be interested in. If you managed to get your hands on and went to one of those things they used to call shops and could actually play the keyboard, what would you do? And that's what I'm trying to get across really in everything that I do. So to make things a bit more visceral, I've had a little bit of an idea so that I can give you access to some of the presets for everything I play. By means of a new technology. I think I've just invented the sampler. And I started by using this, it's the Bento, and if we start a new instrument track on here, double click that, go to new, pick multi-sample, okay, and then record, I'm checking the name, that'll do for now. And you can set your record input, your input gain, your thresholds, start note, end note, record every number of notes, velocity layers. So I started off using this because this can auto sample, or I was auto sampling the Echon6 from it. And I have tried creating sample packs in the past, which are all available on starskycarr.com, by the way. And some of them are absolutely magnificent, even if I say so myself. But getting the oscillators from Analog Solutions' £30,000 Colossus into a sample pack, they just sound marvelous. Anyway, enough of the hard sell on that. The trouble with doing that is that you have to then put them into your own sampler, of course. I mean, I've got Logic sampler, so I think I'll put them into Logic sampler. But if you're using anything else, you've got to put them into your own sampler. So I spent some time this weekend working out how to use this. It's decent sampler, it's free, and it'll literally give you a decent experience. So for the Echon6, for the decent sampler, I've created a free little sample pack with 2 presets on it, and one you can buy that's got 20 presets on, and they all sound really nice. But this weekend, as I say, I was looking at decent sampler, exporting things into decent sampler, and I realized there'd be a much quicker way of doing it if I could create a tool to do it myself automatically. And here it is running in Safari on my Mac, but as I say, it should work on a PC and in any browser. I've moved the command line that comes in a folder onto the dock down here. So just hit this and this opens. So you can see it's sort of based on what you get on the Bento. So lowest note, highest note, the interval between the notes, note length, release tail. So obviously you change these depending on the sound of the patch that you're recording. There's a small gap between the recordings, and then we've got different velocity layers. To play a test note, oh yeah, just to show you that you've got that as well. Echon6, patch name, test. And if we test note, C4. Change the volume maybe, let's see what happens when we go quieter. Not a lot. Let's go down a few octaves. So that all seems fine, and you can add some artwork to your library as well. And then if we record this instrument, it starts recording. So note length is 2 and release tail is 2. Come down here, we can see where we are. Won't wait for it to do all those. So stop current job. So it waits to the end of that sample before stopping. Okay to delete those samples. We don't want those for, but if you did want to keep them as a backup, you could. We've got check and repair samples. Check and repair samples, and this is there because when I was doing stuff with the Bento, I was getting occasionally some weird noise coming through. So this was just checking that they were all working okay. I don't think you'll ever need to use that. But you do leave things to run and leave the room, so maybe not a bad thing to try it. Check the levels and apply some gain, just in case they're too quiet, and then build the library. Click here to raise the ceiling of the sample volume automatically, and I'll give a maximum ceiling of whatever you've put there. It doesn't normalize, it raises the volume of them all the same amount. And you can set the trim level for the start and the end of all the samples to remove any silence. So it checks through all the samples and then does this. But yeah, build the library, and it's that simple. And of course, if you wanted to add more instruments, add another instrument before you build the library. Building it does a few things. It trims the files. It takes the silence from the start and the end, and you set those thresholds in the software itself. So at the minute, it's all on by default. It's at -40 for the start and -60 for the end. So you retain those tails, but you can chop them. It then converts them into FLAC. So FLAC is lossless, but it takes up less memory than a WAV. And this does things like it'll check if they're mono or not. And if they're mono, obviously it uses less memory. So me, when I'm uploading stuff to starskycarr.com or to Fourth Wall, there's always limits on the size of the files that I can upload. So I think it's 1 gigabyte on Fourth Wall. So my 20 presets are on Fourth Wall because that's 800 meg. I couldn't put it on starskycarr.com because it's too large. Then it takes 300 meg. So yeah, converting things to FLAC makes things much smaller and easier to manage. And then it also levels things where you can ask it to level things. So it will add a certain amount of dB. It'll analyze the files and then it will add a certain amount of dB to your files to get them to whatever thresholds you've set. I've got it set by default to -1 dB and it adds the same amount of gain to each of the samples. So it's not normalizing stuff and squishing things. It's actually just increasing the whole thing. And that means that you keep the sort of natural sound of the preset across all the keys rather than, as I say, rather than squishing it. And this is the result. And you might recognize that from one of the demos I did in the last video, which I'll play at the end of this. And this is the same patch with all the movement stripped out. Lovely, isn't it? I keep on saying that about this synth. We've got just a couple of controls. We've got release. And we've got an attack there as well. Make that a bit higher. But really nice sounds, aren't they? Let's look at some more. Get some really nice bass out of this as well. And one of these was just spectacularly nice on the bass end. Beautiful, that, isn't it? Knock that down a bit. Yeah, these are the ones with the numbers are just presets that are in there from the off. It's got a lovely organic quality to this thing. I'll absolutely adore it. No effects, by the way. There's your sort of Copper-strung flute. Some rumbles in there, lovely. All sorts of nice stuff happening in that. Some more from the end, triple LFOs. Comes with a complete manual. It works on Mac and PC. It's not packaged as the perfect app. I'm not actually an app developer, but this does work, believe me. You might have to download a bit of Python, but again, it's all really simple. It's just if your computer hasn't got it on the operating system installed already, most do. So, and it's worth noting this, that once you unzip it, this is what we get. And you can see we've got the Mac command files and the Windows batch files, and these are the independent little processors. So if you've just got your load of samples there that you want to build a library out of, open this. Build library will build the decent sampler library. Just drag and drop your folders onto the command line window. Convert to FLAC, exactly the same. Set levels sets the levels to that maximum dB that we've seen. And this is a great little tool. It's the sort of thing I've been doing in Audacity, and it takes a while with this. It's literally one click. And then Start Autosampler opens the browser feature. So all in all, it's quite a cool little thing. It just takes making something that was a real pain in the backside into just a streamlined process, do it all in the one place, and end up with a decent sample of files. So hopefully I'll be able to use that in the future a fair bit, and hopefully you'll get some use out of it too. As I say, it's not a perfect app. It doesn't come as a little icon on your desktop. You know, you do have to click a command or something like that, but it's honestly, it's really simple to use. Do use it, have fun with it, and let me know if you do and what you've done with it. So as I say, I'll stick that on starskycarr.com. It's free. It is free. I will not be helping people to use it in any way, shape or form. I'm not a programmer. I got my digital assistant to help me along the way. And yeah, I'm not going to be offering support on it in any way, shape or form, because the answer will be, I haven't got a clue. But it should work. Okay, as I say, Mac and PC. So I hope you enjoyed that, a different sort of video than normal, but yeah, I spent such a long time doing this and I thought it'd be well worthwhile sort of promoting it and letting people get their hands on it. And if you do want those presets, they are for sale as well, and they are on fourthwall.com, so I'll put a link below so that you can buy them direct from there. As I say, the starskycarr.com thing doesn't work because I can only put 300 meg on there, and this is 800 meg. So, well, that's how detailed those 20 multi-samples are. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please do subscribe, ring the bell, join me over on Patreon. I've got patches, samples, I've got these patches and these samples on there. And do look at my starskycarr.com website as well. Again, patches, samples, stuff to buy, free bits and bobs. And as I always say, it is nice if you pick up some of the cheaper bits, because it really all does help to support the channel, bit by bit, coffee by coffee, pack of crisps by pack of crisps. Anyway, thanks for staying to the very end. I've got those, well, it's not the very end, is it? Because I've got those 2 tracks coming up. Do take a listen to them. It is why we do this in the first place, isn't it? Okay, thanks for staying to almost the very end, and I'll see you next time.
I love you with all my